Well, it taken 3 weeks. Poland abdicated. Poland was no more. But my brother Herschel showed up. He was looking for me. So glad to see him. Well, Lodz, our city, went almost back to normal. They made our people open up the stores. They made everything show like nothing happened. Because the whole German army walking in the street, singing songs. It wasn't too bad in the beginning anyway. They started enacting laws against the Jewish people. They made us wear a Star of David, one on the left side, one on the right side. Identify that we are Jews. Soon after all of this was happening, they enacted all kind of laws. They annexed lots into the Third Reich. They call it Litzmannstadt. Now, you heard about what was happening in Germany. Kristallnacht. The Jewish business people got their businesses confiscated. They knocked the glass out. And the store windows written Jude. Knocked the glass out. Time became terrible for the Jewish people in Lodz. Adolf Eichmann was enacted to solve the Jewish question when they already taken over all of Poland. In the largest cities over Poland, they built a ghetto. The people from the smaller towns had to move into the ghetto, so there they can keep a look on them. The Lodz ghetto was enacted, and they urged all of the Jewish people for Lodz, surrounded with barbed wire, with gendarmes, so fire often.
The ghetto started to move in toward the end of 39. The ghetto closed May 1st, 1940. My father got sick. There was starvation. There was no food. The ghetto didn't take a little bit till they was organized. They made factories from work people. So my father got sick. He passed away in March 41. So I was left with my mother only. And we survived. We worked hard in factories. I worked different things. The most I made straw shoes. When the German army invaded Russia, they were by Siberia and it was very cold. So we made straw shoes to put on top of the shoes to protect it. It was a very hard job. We did it. People tried to save themselves. Everybody had to work. If you didn't work, you didn't eat. You didn't get a rationing. We had bread. For 2 weeks, a little piece, which was hard like a rock. I don't know from what it was made. We got potatoes, very little. And sometimes they let the potatoes stay outside in wintertime and got frozen and rotten. And then we got rotten potatoes. It was cold in the house. There was no coal. They had times when they distributed coal. You get rationing.
Well, before we went to the Lodz ghetto, my family knew that they had to abandon their own business and everything. And in that basement, he constructed 3 wooden cases. He, brother Natan, had taken all of the valuable things. I don't know what I was on the cases. Well, we take the cases. We buried them in the basement. We covered them with old mattresses, which wasn't fit to sell in a store. We covered them up with all of this broken furniture. We kept them all covered up so nobody would know what's there. And we traveled in the Lodz ghetto. And my father knew they'd taken some of the furniture to move them into the Lodz ghetto. It was 1939, cold, in Europe. And we traveled that way, carried, on sleds, into the Lodz ghetto, Baluti. We get an apartment on Zawishi. I remember the name of the street, Zawishi. And that's how we moved into Lodz. So they closed the Lodz ghetto. Nobody could get and get out. They enacted curfews from 5 in the evening to 8 in the morning. No Jewish person should find himself in the streets. After being in the ghetto, Hans Bibo called my brother. Now, the Lodz ghetto functioned just like a little country. He called my brother, and he told him, "I know that you not come into the Lodz ghetto empty-handed. What do you got? Give up!" Boom! They had 2 guys beat the hell out of him. He finally take out and give him some of the stuff. He laid up for 2 weeks. Finally, my father used to get a summons from Hans Bibo. My brother told him, "Please don't let him put a hand on you. They'll kill you. Because you older than I am. Don't give up. Nothing is worth as much as your life. Give it up." He came before Hans Bibo. "I know you have businesses, have all of that stuff. What happened? What did you hide?" So, my father says, "Yes, across the street in the basement we hide some stuff. A horse and a flatback wagon came. They loaded the cases on it. They'd taken it away. What happened to it, I don't know. We were in the Lodz ghetto, so we had to give away everything there. So Hans Bibo decided, I'm not going to talk to each one. They ordered the Altest of the Juden, Jewish elder, Chaim Rumkowski. He wanted anything, and he enacted everything. Of course, I used to go to the furniture store, polished her furniture for the Germans. Certain days they issue curfews. We didn't go to work. Chaim Rumkowski said, if we obey everything they ask for, we will probably live through the war. The Lodz ghetto had Jewish policemen. They had on their armband over here. They had written kapos. They understood a little German, mostly Polish and Yiddish. All of a sudden came an order from Hans Bibo. They need 40,000 Jews on a transport. Rumkowski had to issue the people to go. They get a bread and a honey and go to the transport. They did not have enough people. They came to 2 of my brothers. They had children. One of them had a 2-year-old boy. The other one had a 2-year-old boy. Give up the children. Then my sister-in-law said, what parents will give away their child? You don't know not what you are doing. They say you want to go away with him. Yes, they went with their children. We never seen them.
You know, sometimes I don't believe that I really went through this and survived. There were selections. I never let my mother go down to the selection. Usually I hid there, told we got places to hide. I did go down to the selection. She tear her hair out. Why she let me go down? Well, I was young, but we didn't even know where those people go. I remember my aunt and uncle, the family, they went maybe 2 years into the war. Never heard from him. By the time we left, when they liquidated the ghetto was liquid. They first started with a list. So people didn't go to the list. One day, mother came home and told me, I am on the list. So I said, well, tell me, what do? I don't know. I'm not going to let you go, but I don't want to go either, to go with you. I don't know where they go. We really didn't know anything what was going on. I don't know how we knew what day it was. There was no calendar. There was nothing. We didn't know anything. So I was walking in the street, and I had tears in my eyes, and I met a guy. He was a principal from a bakery, and he knew me. So he asked me, why are you crying? So I told him, my mother is on the list, and I don't know what to do. So he told me that 5 commissars are on a panel, and the commissar from the shoe resort where I worked is on it. I didn't even know where I was going. While I was walking, he saw me. He was walking, asked me, "What are you doing here?" And I burst out crying, and I told him, "I'm looking for you. I'm looking. My mother's on the list, and I heard that you can do something." Well, she got off the list about maybe 2 days later, the list. But the Germans saw that they cannot, that we not running so fast when they ask us to do it. So they stopped bringing out food. There was no food. There was no bread. One time I heard that they go and distribute bread, and I knew the commissar for the bread. So I went there for the bread. He told me, "Wait here. When I start to distribute, I will give you some bread." So I did wait. Then people started to run away. The Germans knew that people stay in the lines, so they come and get you. So I don't know where I ran. I hid on the dilapidated house. Anyway, I did hide under a house. After it quieted down, I went home. My mother was tearing out her hair. She didn't know she thought maybe they get me.